Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Becoming Sound podcast. I am your host, Krista Zaft. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so grateful that you chose to spend some time with me, and I hope you stick around. So just a note for everyone, I have quite a few people that tune in to listen to the episodes, and I am absolutely thrilled about that. And I actually noticed, and don't worry, I can't see your names or anything like that, but I actually noticed that through the numbers and stats that many of you are listening, but not everyone has clicked the follow button, either on Spotify or Apple. And I would be so grateful if you could just press that follow button. It actually really helps boost my podcast. It helps to boost the content and get it out to more people that might need to hear this. If you are on YouTube watching instead, just please hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate that. And yeah, whatever platform you're on, just give me a follow, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's get to the episode. So I have a question for everyone out there. I was at a great event this weekend, and so I wanted to ask you, do you ever think that you're too old to dream, or that you are just too busy to dream? Or do you ever catch yourself thinking or saying that dreams are for other people? Like when you're scrolling on social media and you're seeing all these people living out their dreams and having lots of wealth and success, and they look so happy and they're traveling, and you think, oh, that's so great for them, but that's not for me. That's just not in the cards for me. Do you ever feel like you're maybe just too damn tired and that life is currently sucking the dream all out of you? Or maybe you just don't remember what it's like to dream. I mean, there are a lot of us who grew up in homes where dreaming was not encouraged. Well, you're not alone. Despite what you're seeing on social media, there are many people feeling the exact same way as you do. And I was one of those people too. But I'm here to tell you that what you think isn't possible for you is not only very possible, but it will by far exceed your expectations. And it is within reach to tap into that unlimited potential. And I'm going to talk about that today and let you know how you can get a little slice of that dream pie, or maybe just the whole damn pie. If that's what you really want.
Welcome to the Becoming Sound podcast, where we dive into the tough stuff and try to find the humor in the hot mess of being an adult child. Join me as we peel back the layers on growing up in dysfunction, navigating substance abuse, mental health challenges, and everything in between.
So I was at a 3-day event this past weekend, learning to create a vision, learning to dream, and being inside this container where there are a whole bunch of like minds dreaming and thinking of the same things and learning how to do that. And the question was, what would you love? And this isn't the first time that I have been to this exact same event. Last year, one of my best friends dragged me to this event, and well, she didn't actually drag me. I went pretty willing because I'm open to that kind of stuff. And I listened and I learned, and honestly, it only took a few hours to understand that I was resonating so much with being stuck in a mindset that wasn't serving me. I had this nagging feeling inside of me for so long, just telling me that I knew I was meant for more. I knew that there was more that I could grab out of life. I remember feeling like I had this little voice inside of me that it was always nagging at me, just clawing away in there, telling me that I'm worth more, like that I can do more, that I have more to give the world and more of myself to explore. And I was meant for more than just settling into this comfy little life that I didn't feel inspired in. I mean, things weren't bad. It was comfortable. And I'm thinking, Krista, there's more. Like, there's more out there. You have more inside of you. You have more potential than what you're doing and how you're showing up for yourself and others. So I really had to learn to get out of my own way. It really changed my mindset and opened me up. And so I ended up signing up with the coach and mentor there. And I started learning how to dream at 54 years old. and no shame. In fact, I have been to this same event 4 times in the last year, and every time I come away from that event with bigger dreams and even more expansion, and I get more curious with myself. I establish an even bigger belief in myself. And I know that working with the coach in the last year has really changed my life to one of dreams aren't really available to me into literally dreaming in 5D. And in fact, this time last year, I really dreamt up having a voice for myself and sharing that with the world, helping others to create awareness and learning about healing and what was possible for them. And this podcast was born out of that dream. So welcome to my dream and thank you for being a part of it. I am so grateful for everything that has opened up for me in this past year. I also had it in my vision that I wanted to return to being a life coach and helping others realizing their own dreams. And so I'm also doing that now too. So my life feels and looks considerably different than it did a year ago. And honestly, dramatically different than a few years ago, all thanks to being open and willing to learn. So after yet another weekend of vision building and getting even more curious with myself and asking myself those questions like, what would I love? Finding connection with other people and other dreamers and listening to their dreams and holding space for that. I have even more dreams and more plans in my little journal here. I don't even know. Here it is. In my little journal. Basically just waiting to come to life. And so I'm excited about that. So that's what got me thinking about what I really wanted to talk to you about, which is not only dreaming, but it got me thinking about how much of my life I had spent without dreaming. A lot of years. How much of my life I had spent playing small, never really asking myself that question, what would I love? In fact, I was just asking, am I going to make it through tomorrow? Or am I going to feel like crap again? Those are the kind of questions that I was asking. Very low quality questions, that's for sure. And honestly, I didn't even really think about getting curious with myself or have the awareness or the ability to ask myself really like thought-provoking questions. And I'm not really here to dwell on what I could have been doing all of those years. I'm not going to carry that on my back, and I don't want you to either. I know that we do what we can with the knowledge that we have at the time. And when we know differently, we do differently. And so I do believe it's important to understand where you come from and how we are affected by our programming and how all of that stuff that we learned in childhood affects us and how we carry that on into the rest of our lives. I grew up in an environment, and maybe you did too, where it wasn't always safe or encouraged to dream, or maybe something traumatic happened to you and that just stopped your ability to dream. I think even if you do have an adult in your life that is encouraging you, usually when you grow up as an adult child of addiction or dysfunction or something like that, safety and the circumstances and survival become way more important than dreaming. So much of surviving takes up that space in our hearts and our minds. And so understanding the why is important and how those traumatic events shaped our mindsets, our behaviors, and our thoughts, and how all of that stuff became patterns we ended up repeating in our adult lives without an awareness of it. Coming from someone who bottled everything up and pushed all my feelings down, it is important to talk about what's coming up for you, bringing it out of the shadows, because that's where shame and guilt thrive, and that's not where dreams thrive. We need the opportunity to truly see and understand that we are not our trauma. We are not all of those conditions and programming. We are not the beliefs and all of the stuff that we carried around with us for so long, even long after the events were over. I encourage you to get support. Where you get that form of support, whether it be listening to podcasts like this and the content that I'm sharing or that others share, whether it's social media, there's a lot at our fingertips now for learning about the feelings that you may have and what might be coming up for you. and reaching out to a coach and a therapist or another professional to help you unpack the stuff that's really keeping you stuck. That's so important. And learn about yourself in a safe environment. I think the fact that I made a decision for myself to grow and to find healing and peace within me was a really crucial step. And then I discovered that there are components to it, like somatic work, that helps us process things that are going on in our physical body as well, because we hang on to a lot of that. It's important to release that. I think what I understand now is that after doing a lot of that work, and by no means is it perfect, things come up once in a while, for sure. And this is life. This is just the human experience. The difference is that I'm better equipped to handle what comes up, and I have far less fear about opening up when it does. And I know that I've put structures of support around me, and that I have people I can lean on, and that I have more understanding of myself. And I really finally believe that I'm also not alone. Those are the two biggest struggles I think that I have had in the past, and that's fear and the feeling that I was alone in this. And you need to trust me when I say that you are not alone. The point I'm really trying to make in this long-winded talk is that once you get started on the work and you have the willingness to open up, you start to see that little glimmer of hope, that little spark inside of you. Even if it's just this little voice telling you that you have more to do, maybe you have more to share, you have more life to live. This isn't all there is. Once you acknowledge that and you're finally able to move past like that constant pull back into the past and revisiting that all the time, because other than learning and understanding for the purpose of growth, there's nothing in the past that serves us. The only thing it serves is a reminder of how resilient and how strong and how capable you really are, and that you weren't meant to live in your story. We aren't meant to live in the stories that we have from the past. We're meant to live in the present and be able to create a vision and look forward. This is where the dreaming lives. And I believe you are capable of dreaming and going after those dreams if you so desire. I believe that there is a better way of thinking. I've learned it, and I'm living proof that that is possible. And something really magical happens when you start to open up, when you start to invite more expansive energy into your life and into your world. Like possibility opens up to you, new people open up to you, new ideas and new visions and new dreams. You start to bring those feelings and those desires into living a more fully present life. And there's really no right way to do this. There's no right way to getting on that path. There's no right way to dreaming. It's going to look like whatever is meant for you. Everyone's dreams are unique, and that is the beauty of it. If it lights you up and makes you giddy inside and excited, then that dream is for you. Then those dreams are yours. And I can tell you from experience that being stuck in patterns from my past upbringing, disbelieving in myself, in possibility, and thinking that I'm too old to dream. Like, who do I think I am? I should be thinking more about retirement instead. Well, in all honesty, screw that shit. Like, that is complete nonsense. There are people of all ages dreaming up all kinds of dreams all over the world. And I made a decision to find the support that I needed so I could start dreaming again and moving forward towards what I really want in the world. And I know you can too. I know this one thing to be true. You and I are infinite beings. And what you do with that is up to you. Just because you come from a place where dreaming was discouraged or unheard of, really, it does not mean it's the end of your story and that you have to settle for that. If you're feeling the calling inside of you to grow, or if you're looking to go as big as your dreams will take you, I'm here to be that container of support for you. Because one of my dreams was having a front row seat to witnessing you come alive with your dreams. Hey, I want to leave you with a quote that my coach Stacy said this weekend. You are more powerful and contain more potential than any condition, any circumstance, and any situation. And that you wouldn't be able to dream the dream if it wasn't possible. And I truly believe that for you and for me. So you can connect with me from my link in the show notes, or you can find me at kristazaft.com. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. And I'd also absolutely love to hear some of your dreams. And they are sacred with me. So have a wonderful day, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for joining me today on another episode of Becoming Sound. If this episode resonated with you in some way, please share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It helps to get this information out to more people who may need it. If you have a sec, I would love a follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. While you're there, hit the 5-star rating and give me a review. When you're scrolling, follow me on my social platforms, and I would love to hear your comments and feedback. Have a fabulous day, lots of love and gratitude from me. Please note, the views, information, and opinions expressed during the Becoming Sound podcast series are solely those of the individuals involved. The content of this podcast is to educate, inform, and for entertainment purposes only. This podcast series and the content presented does not constitute for medical or other professional advice or services. If you are in crisis or in need of help, please contact your medical or professional provider.